Hey ladies, welcome to Speak Life Podcast with Lex. I'm so excited that you stopped in. This is a place where we talk about all the things from daily life to real life struggles to topics that nobody wants to talk about. And before we dive in, remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow us on social media, Speak Life Project _. So today, I'd like to talk about you are who you surround yourself with. And I feel like some of the stuff that I talk about is it can come out of left field, but this is why I want to talk about this. Because a few episodes ago, I talked about how being a friend or having friends that have that faith for you, right? And so this kind of ties up along with that. And if you haven't watched that episode, I encourage you to go back about 2 episodes and watch it because it's very encouraging. So with this subject, you are who you surround yourself with. As some of you may not know, I am in ministry school right now. I'm actually finishing it up the first year. And it's been so amazing. I've grown in so many areas that I needed to grow in theologically and just be stronger with doctrine and the things that I need for my foundation as a Christian, as a believer. So it's been very good. And even though it causes me to be so busy, I wouldn't have traded it for anything else because what I'm learning through that and being able to walk it out has been really amazing. And it's caused me to be a better person, a better believer, have a better understanding of my walk with Christ. So in one of the classes is Administration 101. And so in that class, they talk a lot about leadership and who's in your inner circle and things like that. So in one of the classes in that class, in one of the specific ones that we had, our homework was to write a paper on one of the chapters of the books that we're reading. And in that chapter, we had to summarize basically what an inner circle is and the importance of that. So it really got me thinking. And you know me with evaluating myself and having you ladies do the same, but it really got me thinking about my circle and the people that are around me. And even before reading this book, some time ago, a few years ago, my friend and we did a Bible study on boundaries. And it kind of lines up with all of that as well, because it talked about how you can have an example of what Christ had as well when it comes to people and boundaries. And so with Christ, he had 3 that were the closest to him. So that's a model for us to have too. You can have 3 that literally know you like they know your name. And that's so close to you that you share all the things that you're vulnerable with, that you're real with. And not everybody has to have access to you. And so that was a big thing that I had to walk out and to learn, because I was that person that was friends with everybody. And I mentioned that before, but I was like friends with everybody. Everybody was my best friend. So reading this, it just really got me thinking. I'm like, man, imagine if we could get this down in our lives and for us to understand that we'd be able to get to that point that we didn't allow things and people to hinder where we're going. So for example, let me talk about what the chapter talked about. It talked about how important it is for your inner circle, because your friends and the people that surround you could either make and help you soar to where you're supposed to be, or they can drag you down. So we all have heard the saying, right? In school or for somebody, you are the sum total of who you hang out with. Or another one is, show me your friends or show me the people that surrounds you and I'll show you what your future looks like. And it's so true, because we can have a friend that's literally on assignment to tear you down, or you can have a friend that's on assignment to help you get to where you need to be. And then I always love saying this saying that there's friends for a reason, there's friends for a season, and then there's friends for a lifetime. So not everybody that has access to you in this season is going to have access to you forever. There's going to be people that are put in your life strategically from the Lord to be able to get you to your next level, your next step. And then after that, they may not be there anymore. Or there's going to be friends that have that covenant relationship with you, that no matter where you go, no matter where you are, you're always going to have that relationship with them because you're supposed to be lifetime friends. And then there's friends for a reason. There's friends that are meant to be in your life to help you understand or to learn something. So that's why the friends for a reason is why I said that. There's friends for a reason, to where those friends are there to help you learn something, or to help you maybe, and I know this is tough, but sometimes a betrayal or something from a friend that was there, that specific thing had to happen. And I know how hard it hurts. I've had people betray me. It hurts so bad. One time it hurt me so bad, it almost took me out. I was ready to give up my calling. I was ready to give up what I knew God was calling me to do, because I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take people. I hate them. I can't go through this hurt ever again. So I made a vow that I wouldn't let that happen again. So then next thing you know, I literally didn't do nothing. Like, meaning like I did nothing that had to do with my assignment. I took a detour in life. And I wanted to stay so away from it because of a friend that betrayed me. But little did I know that that very betrayal would catapult me, once I realized it, would catapult me to where I needed to be. Because if I would have stayed with that toxic friendship and all the things that came along with that, then I would have never been able to have the scales fall off and to realize that, man, if that didn't happen and take place, I would have been stuck in the same place probably for another 10, 20 years. And you see that happen all the time. So although that very thing hurt, I got through it because I let the Lord in, and I let him show me where or what that meant. So that's why when I say friends for a reason, you can ask the Lord, why are these friends here? You can also ask him, is it for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime? Because I know some people in my life now, we're going to be friends forever. Like, those are my lifetime covenant friends. And then there's some friends that I'm like, okay, you guys are more of like an acquaintance, and we're working on this specific project or thing right now in the season, but we're not going to always be friends. You could just tell. And so if you don't know, ask the Lord. And then the friends that you need to drop, not in a bad way, but maybe just distance yourself. Ask the Lord who those friends are. And so through this whole subject and reading these chapters in school and listening to how, as a leader and as someone aspiring to be a leader over others and all those different things, or even in life in general, how important it is, the people that you choose to surround yourself with and the people that you choose to have access to you and all the things, how important it is. So it really just changed my whole perspective. And not in a place where I'm trying to be guarded, like, oh my goodness, like I'm going to be skeptical of everyone like I was before, but more from a place of, man, are you here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? And God is so good, because as I begin to ask that, I begin to see those people in that way. And then I'm able to know that when that person falls off, or when that person starts to distance himself, or I distance myself from that person over time, because I know that in that season's over, it doesn't get to the place where I'm hurt, or it doesn't get to the place where I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened? It helps me to have an understanding. So I want to encourage you with your friendships to really evaluate that. Like, okay, do I have friends here that are here for a reason, that's here to teach me a lesson? Because there's people that are strategically put in your life that you can't stand. That's like a sandpaper to you, but you know what? They're there to help you to maybe get a specific thing to come to the surface that you need to get out of your life. Or here's a hard one that when I heard, I was like, whatever. Sometimes people that are annoying, or that are there to literally that are literally there to annoy you to no end, those people are the ones that are a reflection of you. And sometimes it's a reflection of you, and you're like, man. And so when I heard that before, I was like, oh, that is so true, but I don't like it. And it's like, exactly, you need to work on that. And then I heard someone the other day through a sermon say this, and this really touched my life. He said, a lot of times, or he said, we're supposed to love our enemies, because as we can love our enemies, we look more like Christ. And when we look more like Christ, we're able to love like he does. But he said, nowadays, people avoid their enemies so that they don't ever have to try to love them. They don't ever have to try to interact with them. And he's like, they'd rather just avoid them in general instead of causing themselves to look more like Christ. And in that process, you got to get all the ugly things out. But that's the whole point of having an enemy, right? Is to reveal those areas in you. Because some people, when they have an enemy in their life, they're like, I'm going to cut, slice, dice, whatever. I'm going to cut, slice you. And then there's others that just want to avoid it. But if you can crucify your flesh and look more like Christ by denying those very things that you think should happen with that person. And you begin to love them. You begin to pray for them. You begin to really pray a prayer of blessing over them and their family, and really like be diligent and faithful with that. And you begin to see them change. I've seen my enemies change. And some of them I became friends with over time. And I'm like, yo, that's so crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, if you could do that, then you begin to look more like Christ, because that's how he was. And it even says in the word, it's easy to be friends with people that you like. It's easy to be there and to be friendly with those that are friendly with you and kind to you. But the real challenge is to be friends with the enemies and the people that the Lord, or that the people that come in your life that are like sandpaper. So I wanted to add that as well, because there's people that are in your life for a reason. But if we can look at the inner circle, like this book was talking about, and say, who are the ones that are going to help me soar? And then who are the ones that I need to let go or distance myself from? Because we're supposed to love people, love all people, right? But who am I supposed to distance myself from that maybe sees me as the last season? Because there's friends that refuse to see you in the next level or the thing that God is calling you to, right? There's friends that's like, nah, I'm always going to see you as the girl from your past, the sinner, or the girl that always made mistakes, or the girl that was always small, that was doubtful. I refuse to see you in your next level because I don't want to go there. So I don't want to see you go there. Those are the people that are detrimental to your growth and can be sneaky snaky, because a lot of times you don't even know that someone that you may have in your inner circle is like that. So it's very crucial to say, okay, Lord, help me to weed out those people that are in my life that are hindering my growth. And then help me to embrace and invest in the people that are meant to be here, that are going to help me in my growth. Because there's going to be people that are better than you in certain things. And instead of making it a competition or being jealous, you can be that person that says, hey, I want to learn and glean from you. So pour into me. And then there's going to be people that are maybe under you or wanting to run with you, but that are meant to be in your life that you could pour into and catch them up, and just there's different aspects. But if we can get to that place of keeping the ones that are meant to be close and invest in them, that's what this chapter of this book talked about, which the book is 21 Laws of Leadership. In that book, and it talked about how you should invest in the ones that are going to help you grow, that are in your inner circle, and give all your time to that. But the time suckers, the ones that are just there to hinder you and to try to get you to, or not really believe in you, and that are jealous and wanting to see you fall or whatever, those are the ones that you don't invest time in as much. You invest time in the ones that are meant to be there, that are going to help you soar in the things of God, that are going to help you, that are going to help catapult you and push you to go further than you ever have before. And so in this whole thing, to wrap it all up, it changed my perspective on friends. And in general, as you begin to heal and as you begin to focus on the different things in your life that need to change, like in the perspective of what God sees, and working on our character and all those different things as we're working on the glow up, we need to recognize that hurt people hurt people. So if there are people in your life that hurt you, you can get to the place where you're like, man, you hurt me and that hurt. But because you are hurt and I can recognize that and you're broken, I'm going to pray that your heart is healed, that you can come out of that. I'm going to pray the best for your family instead of like wanting to get revenge and connive and slice, like I said, slice and dice them. You can get to the point where you're like, I love you. And I want to see you thrive in life. So instead of allowing that hurt to make me cut you off, I may not have you in my inner circle, but I'm still going to love you and pray for you. And that right there is maturity, and that right there is growth. And so I'm getting to that place where I'm like, I'm seeing my friends or people that maybe once was in my inner circle and not anymore, or maybe the ones that are acquaintances, when I could see them try to hurt me or try to do something specifically to like get me to be in a mood, that's when I recognize it and say, you know what, I'm not going to allow that to offend me. I'm not going to allow that to take me or bring me down, because I know who I am in Christ, and I know where I stand. I know that hurt people. And so I'm not going to allow that to get to me and to bring me down. I'm going to allow that to teach me a lesson and to know that I could pray for my enemies and be there for the ones that are meant to be in my life. I hope that this encouraged you. I know it really encouraged me. I really encourage you to read that book if you can. If you're really wanting to grow in the things of God and grow in your character in different things and in areas of friendship, if you want to grow, read that book, and also have the Lord help you with categorizing the people that are meant to be in the inner circle and people that are meant to be in the outer circle. That's like a whole nother thing they talk about, but we have time to talk about that. And I'm going to pray us out. So Lord, I pray for each and every lady today, Lord, at the sound of my voice. I pray that through this podcast, through this specific topic of friendship and being able to realize those that are in our inner circle, I just pray that you would help us to weed out the friends or the people that are not meant to be that close to us, and help us to focus on the ones that are meant to be close to us, and help us to be able to invest our time in them, Lord. I just pray that they would be able to see those friends and say, you know what? I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be real with you because I know that you and I are going to help each other grow closer to the things of God. And I just pray that you would help the ones that may have a hard time with letting go with specific people because they like the comfort or the way that person makes them feel. But if they're detrimental to the growth, Lord, because you know all things. If they're detrimental to their growth, I pray that you would give them the courage, show them so that they're able to distance themselves and focus on and not be distracted by people and other things, but focus on what you've called them to do, focus on growth, focus on the friendships that are meant to be in their lives. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that you have a great rest of the week, and I will catch you next time. Bye.